Hi my English languages friends, and in this video I show you step by step how to set up the 2.144 in Prepare 3D version 4. On my channel all of my video collected in the playlist. This video you see in this playlist, and it continue with manual of these beautiful aircrafts. And in this video I show how to set up and flight on these aircrafts. And now I tell you how to set up the aircrafts in Prepare 3D version 4 only. The link to this video and model of aircrafts you see in the description on this video. And first preliminary 0 steps to set up this aircraft to Prepare 3D version 4. When you download a model, when you download my program, go to my program, go to folder, name it 2.144, and you see it a library. You need to set in the Prepare 3D version 4 to always work above I tell you in this video. I run Second Explorer and go in my Prepare 3D version 4 folder. Go to folder, name it Modules, and copy to this folder this library. Copy, copy, and paste it. I already have this file in this folder and I replace it. It's not replaced because my sim is running now. And you need to copy this library in this folder, and when go to your users folders, your computer name folders, app data folders, roaming folders, LM Lockheed Martin folders, Prepare 3D version 4, and edit the file named DLL-XML, and edit this section to these files. Similarly, the FSU IPC sections in this file you see too. Its sections you see in these files. You not have type the text of your hands, you can copy this section of this file in my program and paste it in this DLL section. Add this to it. And 0 steps is finishing of this time when first steps runway Prepare 3D version 4, and sorry I flying at this time, but it never mind of this. See the add-ons, and you see plugins at this menu. It shows you the plugins is set up correctly. Video. So the first step you need to do you need to download the model, go to a theme forum and press these links and download the model to your computer. When set up its model, and next you need download my program. Link to this you see in the description of video, or you can go to this playlists and at the latest of video in this playlists go to the last video, and in description of this video you can see a link to my program, and at this video in description you see a link for download my program. When you download it, go primary folder of my program and run mynl.exe file. But before you run it, you need to configure it. To do this, open the file named path in the primary folder of my program. It's text file, and see this section. These two sections show you how to set up your joystick for driving the aircrafts Tu-144 in Prepare 3D version 4. To help you to understand what you need to do, you can open this txt file and show the descriptions of these settings. First settings: axis of the joystick, with axis control the elevator, axis in aircrafts. Next, axis control the rudder axis, aileron axis, throttle axis, left brake axis and right brake axis. And you ask how to look the names of those axes, and I will answer you. Run the Prepare 3D and go to Options, Controls. In this section, click mouse on these controllers and see which controllers you have installed. I have two controllers: Cytec Flight Radars pedals, it's my primary controllers, or 0, and second Flight Pro yoke, and the same number you see in the second column. If you have one controllers, for example, I want to have one joystick Cytec ProFlight yoke. When I fix this number to 0 always. If you have one controllers, this number 0 always. If you have two controllers, the first controllers is 0, the second controllers is 1, the third controller is 2, and next. If you do not have controllers, or you do not want to turn axis, set -1 at those line. For understand the name of the axis, you can go on the screen, set uController, go to Axis Alignments, and select any settings you want. I set left brake axis, and turn and pull the stick on the joystick. For example, I pull L1 axis and I see X axis. When I click clear and pull my next axis with elevator axis on my joystick, and when I write name of this axis in the settings of my programs. Repeat it once more. The first axis is elevator axis, y-axis on my first joysticks. When radar axis, when L1 axis, throttle axis, left brake, right brake. When you set the axis, you need to set a button of your joystick, if you want to set it. 6 buttons you can set. First button, trim up, but for example buttons 4 on my joystick, trim down, trim left, trim right, transfer fuel backward, button 5, transfer fuel forward, button 6 on my joystick. You can set your button, your number of button on your joystick to do these actions over aircrafts. I just save the settings that we prepare 3D settings do not work on these aircrafts. When you set up the joystick on my program, save the file and close it. When run my program, use my new .exe file. The program is running, and when you need flight plan, create flight plan to this aircrafts. To do it, set ICAO airports arrival, airports departure, and airports arrival. For example, I set KSFO San Francisco to Washington. 2000 miles, short flights of these aircrafts. And when you need to create flight plan, in this program many ways to do it. I show you the easiest way to do it. When you set ICAO airports, press this button, creates flight plan, and you see airports departure and start procedure of airports arrival. In these flights we do not use standard instrumental departure and do not use standard instrument arrival. We create easiest flight plan. To do it, double click on the first point of flight plan I set it at this place. And do you see a marker on the map? When I double click in next point, next point, next point, next point, and continue. If you mistake to set the marker, press right key and use this menu item to delete the marker. And repeat this procedure when you set all markers. Press right button and use these items. Create flight plan from user markers. Press it. And in the primary window of my program you see flight plans. And I mistake. In this section I do not uncheck this checkbox. It's set to do the standard instrument departure, standard instrument arrival, and approach procedure. And I again set create flight plan. And when I see good result, my action, close this window. And when I have two ways to set up flight plan in aircrafts. Go to cockpit, press Shift 7 key and press this button. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Doing actions. At first you need initialization with aircrafts. Press Shift and 1 key. And immediately you see more windows, and when click at this zone to see flight engine, workplace, and close with windows. When you press Shift and 7 key and press this button, it's initialization the FMC system of these aircrafts. And when go to vehicle menu, set up a fuel. I set 65% of fuel or 75. Do not set more than 75% of fuel. When I set 9,000 pounds useful payloads, press OK. And when go to my program and press Start Connect button. And if you did anything right, you see aircrafts on the maps at these airports. And at these pages you see counts of variables of these aircrafts. And when press right button on the flight plan and use low menu item to translate flight plan to FMC of this aircraft's directs. When you see this window, at this windows you need to select runway to departure and runway to arrival. And when uncheck this item, is center aircrafts of position of map, go to these pages, to 144 pages, and press this button to initialize the autopilots of these aircrafts. And when you need to complete the setup of flight controls, press Shift and 5 key and use the gauges to control airplane management system, and when do exactly what I will do. Set this selector to 1 position, set this selector to X position, select these items, and press Save Access. And if you did everything right, your yoke is go up and go down. When set this selector to Y position, set next items and press Save Access. And when control rudders, when set next items, next positions, ailerons, Save Access, and you will control ailerons access on the yoke. Set next position, next items, its throttle, and press Save Access, and you control the rudder axis, throttle axis on your joystick. When set next left brakes, next selector position, set invert position of this button and Save Access. Left brakes, right brakes, next position, invert and Save Access. And when to fix these issues of brakes, set these items, next position of the selector, and press Save Access, and it's go on. When set parking brakes of these aircrafts, and you have full controls of all of access on these aircrafts. Ailerons, rudders do not work because hydraulic systems is off in these moments. And when I continue to set up the aircrafts, press Shift 2 keys, open FMC, and at these moments I tell you how to create flight plan using other ways. In my program, when you create base flight plan, go to these pages and press this button to save flight plan in the formats to understanding of these aircrafts. You need to save it in the prepare 3D version 4 folders, doc to 144 folders, and replace same files in these folders. Press save and replace it. These actions must be done before the aircraft is loaded, if you choose this way to load flight plan of these aircrafts. To verify the flight plans, you can set the flight plans points, press this button and select point number 1 coordinates and verify the coordinates. It's shown to the left upper corner when I set the points, and the same coordinates you see at the FMC of 1 points of flight plans. To set next points, press 02, 03, 05, 06 and next 07, 08. It's nothing because I have 7 points of my flight plans with 7 points. And when select this button, set 7, 4, and if you choose second ways to load flight plan, you need to set the number of flight points of flight plan. Press this button and set 0107 in my cases and press enter. When set second airports, it's airports of arrival, press enter button and you see the distance between these airports and you control it. This distance is same to this distance. The small difference is normal to the setup. When I set control ppm or plan points, and when I see the distance to my first flight plan points, I control this to set marker on this position. Sorry, mistake. Double click and double click, and I see the same distance. It's correctly. I erase my marker and I see distance of this gauges to my first point, set the course to these points, and when I set emergency fuel stock, press this button, press erase button and set 10 pounds, press enter. The lamp is disengaged, turn off course, and that's all. I set up my FMC. When I start up my aircrafts, I do it shortly. You will see full procedure of startup of these aircrafts in that video. In this video I do it very shortly. Press Shift 1, go to flight engine, start up a fuel pump system, set up automatic of fuels, transfer systems, set up engines, always on, set up fuel system and start APU. Little issue you see in these aircrafts. You cannot hear the sounds. It's issue not fixed in this time. APU start up, set up a sampling from the APU. The lamp is disengaged and we're ready to start the engines. Set stop gauges, press with, number 2 engines, and press start. Engine number 2 is starting. Connect with generator of this engine, and I forgot to connect the APU to line. When start third engine, transfer fuel and set starts. When engine start and connect the generator of this engine, start one engine, connect with generator number 1, when start last engine, center number 4, when it started, connect generator number 4, close the course and disconnect APU and disconnect GPU. Close the air from APU and stop the APU. When set up condition system, set always to automate positions and connect to engine. Close this system and off the APU. It's all. Connect hydraulic system. And this button. when you need to set the avionics systems, press set with zone and set all of this button to on position. Close, go to this, set the control of correction of MPC to see the frequency of VIR beacons. Press this button and press these buttons again, and you see the frequency. And when you set it, this lamp is disengaged. Close it, go to this, set the lights, set the taxi lights, and continue to set up your avionics. Close. Set the auto throttle. Down the nose cone. And when I go to overheads, continue set up the avionics and open the nose wings. And we're ready for taxi. Set the angle. Oh, sorry. Tuning angle of primary chassis to 16 degrees. Parking brakes is off, and I use standard departure, shift and PK. And when I taxi to my runway, I take off 10 right runway at this time. And I see where can I taxi. To see the airport's map, you can press this button to airport's arrival, departure map, and this button to see the airport's arrival maps. If you see, all of my controls, rudder controls, work properly. In this sample I don't use a traffic. At the runway I close with windows, set 8 degrees to turn chassis. And you see always lights disengaged. Press Shift 2 to see the FMC, set up, calculate of FMC and set at the 70 position 1 number to start gear compositing and close it. And at this moment I want to remind you how to use these primary gauges of these aircrafts. Following his instructions, you will make the whole flights. It's graph, and at this graph, at this axis you see speeds of aircrafts, and at vertical axis you see altitude of aircrafts, and you see three graphics of these gauges. First white line show you how to set the speeds of aircrafts when you descending. Second white line show you how to set the aircrafts to climb, and this red line show you restricts of speeds of these aircrafts. You need strictly following the instruction of these graphs to correct flights. And when too easily way to set up aircrafts to climb, I press Shift 1 and open Autopilot's panel and second Autopilot's panel. It's panel same of panel of yoke, but it not move when I flights. Set the toggle of throttle, and when I set horizontal stabilization and when set the vertical stabilization of autopilots, and when I control my autopilots to this selector and this selector. Set the flights, gears up. And close nose cone at 200 meters above the ground. And go up the primary wings. Set the flap nose. Oh, my issue. And set out the rider. It's too big speeds to this moments. And continue climbing. Strictly follow the instructions of these gauges. It's very more to climb speeds. I set the nose down. And when I set navigation system of my autopilots 220 kilometers to my first flight points. And you see this yellow triangle at the second vertical line. I set my speeds at auto throttle, controlled by my autopilots. And my autopilots set to horizontal. Navigation stabilization of my flight plan. LNAV system is on at this time. The speeds of Mach. And you see at the graph the zone. Acceleration zone of supersonic speeds. It's begin at 7 or 8,000 meters above the grounds. You need to transfer fuel. To do it, go on my programs and set this and use this button to do it permanently. I set 45 center of gravity or 46 center of gravity at this moment. In Prepare 3D version 4 it's not work correctly using its gauges stack, and I set up my speeds. The yellow triangle go away. At this zone it's normal. (10,000 meters). 33,000 feet. I slowly, very slowly down my nose. To up my speeds. Very carefully turn with setting of aircrafts at this zone. Turn off my auto throttle and set 85% of N2 of engine. Sometime later, I'm flying of 2 Mach speeds. It's slowly biggest restrict over speeds, and that it's normal of these aircrafts. So more temp of the face of this aircraft, and I have issue of my FMC. But I see my aircrafts at position. Of flight plan lines I set above windows my programs, and when I turn aircrafts, Shift and 3 key, and set manually correct flight plan, and turn my aircrafts manually using this selector, and see it on the GPS positions. When continue the flights, beautiful, amazing aircrafts. I love it. We continue the flights, and at this moment I tell you how to set the FMC to operational programming points in your flight plan. For example, I can fly into this point directly. To do this, I click right mouse button at these points and see these last items on the menu. Send current cursor coordinates on FMC. Press it. Show. Press it, and you see these windows. When I set operational points 32 and till select. When I press Shift and 2 key and set this selector to OPM position. When I set Oh, that's correct. Set OPM and set 2 points. It's 32 points. And press enter. When aircrafts go to these points directly. If I can set next point, at this point stop of descents, I need to descend my aircrafts. To do it, I decrease my throttle and set speeds to this first white line. Yellow triangle, go to this line. If I can return to my flight plan, I go to this program position and set it. I set speeds of descents and descend in my aircrafts. It's very easy if you see all these gauges and restrict the speeds of altitudes. If you see on my program, the top of descent in front of the aircrafts, it's correctly positioned. If it's behind of aircrafts, you need to increase the vertical speeds. And always see at these gauges and correct your vertical speeds and aircraft speeds. I descended very fast and I corrected using this selector to up my nose. Transit with subsonic speeds, and you at subsonic speeds now. And continue descending. You need to transfer the fuel forward. If this restrict show you it, you can use a button of joystick you programming as in first step of setup aircrafts, or you can set it directly using my program and set the center of gravity directly. Press these buttons, same always number of these gauges. And at this moment I another set the next OPM points. Press right button, click this and set 33 points to set in FMC. Shift 2, OPM 33 and go to this point directly. My aircraft turn left to go to these points directly. I correct throttle speeds to set the yellow marker to first white line. And continue flights. At this moment I set up my approach procedure and landing procedure. At this marker to show you a direct of winds, I see a frequency of ILS at 110.1 and I set up it at overhead. No, at this moments it's this. When I set a course of my runway, it's 11. And when I set a little late this selector to this position, and at this moment I set center of gravity directly of my programs and I set 42. Slow. This corrects. And at this position I am landing. No. I set it manually. Gears down. And I manually landing at this airport. The landing of these aircrafts is very hard procedure. You need many training. to landing perfect. I bet landing at this time because I many gear not flights of these aircrafts and forgot how do it perfectly on it. And now I am taxiing to the parking position. I see an issue on my scenery. The building is going off. Stay on this place, set up a parking brakes. Start the APU or connect GPU as you wish. Shut down the engines. And open the door. And that's all. I show you all of your needs to set to flights of these aircrafts in Prepare 3D version 4. And this is the end of this video. See you again and goodbye.